Okay, so lesson 1-3, we are going to be doing some measuring of segments, not like with a ruler, but the same idea as if you had a ruler. And the first thing we talk about is actually called the ruler postulate. So if you had a ruler, this would work with how you figure out how big something is on that ruler. But the ruler postulate is the picture you see there. If I have a segment, AB, with lengths or values of A and B, the way I determine how far it is between A and B is I subtract those two values and then I take their absolute value. Remember, absolute value is these bars right here. Okay, so for instance, if I were to do this with numbers, let's say I have a -7 and a +2, okay? And I want to know what is the distance between those two. Well, the ruler postulate says I take those values, -7 and 2, and I subtract them. So I'm going to subtract -7 and 2 and take the absolute value. What does absolute value do? It gets rid of the negative. It makes it positive, right? Absolute value is a distance, and you can't have a negative distance. It's how far away it is from 0. So I would do the absolute value of -9, which is 9. Okay? So that's what the ruler postulate is doing. So look at example 1 here. It says, what is the length of ST? So ST goes from a -4 to a +8, okay? And it says we are going to find the length of that ST. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the absolute value of what? -4 minus 8, or 8 minus -4, right? So -4 minus 8 or 8 minus -4. It does not matter because when you take the absolute value, it will become the same answer either way. Okay, so do that. You get the absolute value of -12, which is 12. Okay, so when they're asking you for the length of a segment, you're just plugging it into that formula. The absolute value of one number minus the other number. Okay. Okay, then we have what's called the segment addition postulate. And the segment addition postulate is very straightforward. You've done stuff like this before, but not with segments, okay? But basically, when you were younger, you probably learned the two parts equal the whole. Do you remember that at all? It's basically saying if I take this piece of something and this piece of something and I add them together, I will get the whole thing as one piece, right? The two parts equal the whole. That's segment addition postulate. It's saying if I take AB and I add to it BC, what I get is that whole thing, which we call AC. Okay, so AB plus BC will equal the whole thing. Okay, so let's look at example 2, because example 2 and example 4 get confused a lot. So stick with me here, make sure you're not mixing these up, and I'll explain more in a little bit about that. But here's what it says, and this is key, okay? The directions help a ton. It says if EG equals 59, so EG, this is EG, right, is 59, what are EF, so what is the length of this segment, and what is the length of FG, this segment, okay? So what you're going to do with that, thank you, Michael and Chaz. You guys want to come grab these real fast? What you're going to do with that is you are going to take the two parts, add them together, and set it equal to the whole thing. So one part here, 8x minus 14, plus the other part right here, 4x plus 1, right? Add the two parts together, set them equal to what? 59, the whole thing. Okay, and now from here, it's just algebra, right? Do the algebra. So 8x plus 4x is 12x. -14 plus 1 is a -13 equals 59, okay? And then from there, simplify. So we're going to add the 13, and we get 72 equals 12x. Okay, and then how's your mental math? What's 72 divided by 12?
8.
Not 8.
9.
No.
6.
6. It's 6. Yes. Okay. But now here's the thing. Is that what they asked us for? I wrote too big on this. Sorry. They asked what are EF and FG, right? So what you're going to do now is you're going to plug those in for EF and FG, right? You're going to plug that 6 in. So it's going to be EF is 8 times 6, my x value, minus 14. What do you get? 8 times 6 is 48. 48 minus 14, 34. Okay, so EF is 34. Now do FG. FG is this guy, the 4x plus 1. So 4 times your x value, which is 6, plus 1 is 25. Okay, how do you know if you got it right? Add those together, right? If these two together equal your 59, then you're good. And they do. This equals 59. So we know we got the right stuff. Questions on that? Okay, then we are going to talk about congruent segments, and the way we show congruence is an equal sign with a little tilde over top, okay? But congruence really is equality. If two segments are congruent, they are equal in length. That's what means they're congruent, okay? So we're going to talk about a couple of segments here, starting with AC and BD. So if you look at AC goes from A, -2, to C, which is at 5, okay? So I can say AC has a length of, and now we're going to do the ruler postulate. How do you do the ruler postulate? Absolute value of what? Their distance. How do you find that distance? Do you add or subtract? You subtract, right. We're going to take -2 minus 5. So it's the absolute value of -7, which is 7. Okay, so AC has a length of 7. What's BD? Absolute value of, B is at what? 3. D is at 10. So you get the absolute value of -7, which is 7. Right? Are those two segments congruent?
Yes.
Why? They both equal 7. They're equal in length, right? So they are congruent. So here's how you write it. You say segment AC is congruent to, okay, so the little equal sign with the squiggle over top is congruent to segment BD. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, and let me just show you real quick how we mark congruence. I'm going to draw you a little picture over here. Let's say we have a segment here, and then we have another segment here. Okay, if I want to tell you separately that pieces are congruent, so say the blue is marked congruent, we just put little hash marks there. That means they are equal in length, okay? But the red ones aren't equal to the blue ones, right? So the way we mark new ones that are congruent is we just do more hash marks. So 2 marks here with 2 marks here would say that the red ones then are congruent also. Does that make sense? So the more segments you're trying to mark congruent, the more markings you're going to give it. Okay? Okay. Last little bit here. There are 2 terms here that really, they're essentially the same thing. One is just a little bit more detailed than the other. But a midpoint of a segment, okay? And a midpoint is exactly what it sounds like. It's the middle point, right? It's the point right in the middle of our segment. So a midpoint of a segment is a point that divides the segment into 2 congruent segments. Okay? So we're cutting it into 2 congruent segments. And what happens is you have just a point in the middle of that segment. Whereas this next term, a segment bisector, is the same idea. It can be a point, but this can also be a line or a ray or a segment that cuts through a segment and breaks it into two equal pieces. So a segment bisector and a midpoint really are the same thing, but a segment bisector can also be a line, ray, or segment. Okay? So if you look at this picture, we would say these two pieces are congruent, meaning B is the midpoint. It cut it into two equal parts, so B is in the middle. Okay, so B is a midpoint, but we could also say B is the segment bisector, or we can say line L is the segment bisector of segment AC. Okay, so that's just some terms that you should be familiar with. Let me show you what you're going to do with those. And here's what I was talking about. Example 4 and example 2 look a lot alike, but you do them differently. Okay, go back to example 2 real fast. Just look at it. In this one, they told us the whole length. They told us it was 59. So we took the two pieces, we added them together, and we set it equal to the whole thing. This is different. Okay, this one says Q is the midpoint. What do you suppose you do on this one? Do you add them together like we did on the first one? No, we don't know the total length, right? If we knew the total length, you could. What should we do, Julia?
Subtract them?
We're not going to subtract them. It's a good thought, but we're not going to subtract them. John?
Divide.
Not divide. Remember what this is. This is a midpoint. So what is true of these two pieces?
Oh, wait, so if it's the middle, that means that both are equal, right?
Right. So we're going to set them equal, right? We're going to take these two pieces and we're going to set them equal. 6x minus 7 equals 5x plus 1. Okay? So just be careful. If you see the word midpoint, chances are you're putting an equal sign between the two pieces. If you don't see midpoint, you're adding pieces together to set them equal to a total. Okay? So let's solve this. Take away the 5x, add the 7. So we get x equals 8. That's a weird 7, sorry. Okay, so we know our x value. X is 8. They didn't ask for x. They asked for PQ and QR and PR. How do we find the length of PQ? Julia, go for it.
Add 8 in the place of the x in the equation.
Right, we're going to put this 8 right here. So it's going to be 6 times 8 minus 7. Do some mental math there. What do you get? 40 what? 48 minus 7 is 41, right? So this should be 41. What about QR? Do you have to plug something in? 41, right? It should be the same thing. Now, I still recommend you plug it in because I think it's a better option in case you did something wrong. So 5 times 8, plus 1 is also 41. So when they come out the same like that, then you're like, yep, no, I did it right, because that's what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to be the same length. So what's PR? 82. Yeah, take those 41s and just add them together. So it's 82. Okay, so just be careful. If it's a midpoint, set them equal. If it's not a midpoint, add them together and set it equal to the total. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay. You have a decent chunk of time right now. You have like 17 minutes, I think. Is that right? 11:50. Yeah. You guys had way more time than my other class.